Is Hoyo trolling us, or did they just genuinely forget that dragons are supposed to fly? It has been 5 years. 5 years since we first stepped onto the freezing slopes of Dragonspine. 5 years since we learned about the corrupted, tragic dragon that fell from the sky and poisoned the very earth of Mondstadt. For half a decade, Durin was a legend.
So Durin is finally playable, and his banner is absolutely gonna drain your savings. If you want to bring the Dragon Boy home without going broke, you need to check out Buffbuff. This is the place to top up Genesis crystals for crazy low prices. Seriously, stop overpaying in the official store. The process is super easy, they have tons of payment options, and the crystals go straight into your account. No worries, no hassle. And if you're paranoid about safety like I am, don't be. Buffbuff is 100% trusted with full security guarantees. So what are you waiting for? Durin isn't going to pull himself. Click the link in the description and top up at Buffbuff.
He was a skeleton on a mountain, he was the shadow to Albedo's light. We theorized, we wrote fan fiction, and we begged Hoyo to let us see the dragon. And now, here we are. The Crimson Dragon has returned. But looking at the community response over the last week, it feels like we are playing 2 different games. Half of you are crying tears of joy because our boy finally got his happy ending. The other half, you are furious. You feel scammed. You feel like we ordered a ferocious eldritch dragon from Amazon and what arrived in the mail was a plushie. We need to talk about Durin. Today, we are going to dissect the most controversial release of the post-Natlin era. We are going to talk about the Wingate scandal that has Twitter in a meltdown. We are going to analyze the identity crisis of Mini-Durin versus OG Durin, and we are going to decide once and for all, did Hoyo ruin the lore, or are we just too addicted to tragedy to accept a happy ending? Let's start with the petty drama first, because if there is one thing the Genshin community loves more than Primogems, it is complaining about quality of life features. We need to talk about the wings. Durin has wings. He is a dragon. He has a synthetic human body, yes, but the wings are right there. They are part of his model. They are massive. They look incredible. So why, in the name of the Animo Archon, can he not fly? I'm not even asking for infinite flight like Scaramouche or the Cloud Retainer. I'm talking about the bare minimum. Why, when I jump off a cliff, does he pull out a wind glider? You have to understand the frustration here. We just spent a year in Natlin. We have seen Chaska flying with a revolver like she's in a John Woo movie. We have seen Citlali floating around on a spirit pillow. We have seen Vereza running with cartoon legs. Even Skirk floats with her abyss aura. And then we get Durin, the shadow of the dragon, and he falls with style? The community is calling this lazy, and honestly, I kind of agree. It feels like a massive missed opportunity for immersion. I saw a comment on Reddit that summed it up perfectly. Mannequins in this game have invisible gliders, but the literal dragon cannot use his own wings. Now look, I know the counter argument. It's just a game mechanic, don't take it so seriously. And sure, mechanically, it doesn't change his DPS. But Genshin sells fantasy, and the fantasy of playing a dragon is severely dampened when that dragon has to strap on the default Mondstadt wings to glide 10 feet. Is it a deal breaker? No. Is it the funniest controversy we've had since the Dehia jump cancel incident? Absolutely. It's a meme, but it's a meme that hurts a little bit because it reminds us that no matter how cool the lore is, we are still bound by the spaghetti code of 1.0 exploration mechanics. But the wings are just the surface level. The real war is happening in the lore threads. The biggest question surrounding this banner isn't, is he meta? It is this actually Durin? Let's recap for the people who skipped the dialogue in the Paralogism quest. I know you're out there. The Durin we have is a fusion. It is the Mini-Durin from the storybook world of Simulanka, created by M, or Andersdotter, fused with the purified essence and power of the OG Durin from Dragonspine, using a synthetic body crafted by Albedo. On paper, this sounds like the perfect solution. You get the power of the old dragon with the personality of the new one. Best of both worlds, right? Wrong. The community is split down the middle. There is a loud faction of lore enthusiasts who feel cheated. They wanted the angst. They wanted the corrupted, tragic figure who remembers the pain of being poisoned by gold. They wanted a character who struggles with the duality of his existence. Instead, many players feel like we just got Simulanka Durin in a trench coat. He calls M his mother. He calls Albedo his brother. He acts sweet, innocent, and wholesome. Where is the monster? Where Where's the abyssal horror? I've seen posts saying this isn't Durin, this is just an OC with Durin's name. And I get it. If you fell in love with the tragedy of the Dragonspine spear description, this character feels like a Disney Channel reboot of a grim dark franchise. However, I want to push back on this. I think the community lacks reading comprehension. The game isn't hiding this. The game knows this is a lighter version. The entire point of the paralogism quest was to give Durin a new story. The OG Durin was too corrupted to save. He was dead, gone. His consciousness was shattered. What Albedo did was take the potential of Durin, the soul that never had a chance to be good, and give it a vessel. It's the Ship of Theseus argument. If you replace every part of the dragon, is it still the dragon? HoYoverse's answer is yes, but he's healed. And honestly, I think that's beautiful. We have enough edgy, depressed characters. Xiao is depressed. Scaramouche is angry. Neuvillette is sad. Let Durin be happy. Let him be the one experiment of Rhinedottir that didn't end in a global catastrophe. Speaking of Rhinedottir, oh boy, the mommy issues in this character's voice lines are off the charts. People are genuinely mad that Durin refers to M, Andersdotter, as mom, and Rhinedottir, Gold, as auntie. Let's be real for a second. Rhinedottir is the worst mother in Teyvat history. She created Durin, fed him abyssal poison, and sent him to die on a mountain. She is the Oppenheimer of alchemy. She creates bombs and walks away. M, on the other hand, she wrote a fairy tale specifically to give Durin a safe place to exist. She loved him. She crafted a world where he wouldn't be a monster. So when players complain that he shouldn't call M his mom, Gold created him, they are missing the entire emotional core of the story. Biology, or alchemy, doesn't make a parent. Love does. If I were Durin, I would absolutely disown the woman who turned me into a biological weapon and embrace the witch who wrote me a bedtime story. This isn't a retcon or a plot hole, it's character growth. It's Durin choosing his family. I think the community's obsession with the OG Durin comes from a desire for conflict. We wanted to see him torn between two mothers. We wanted the drama, but HoYoverse chose the path of healing. They chose to show us that nurture can overcome nature. And while it's less dramatic than a dragon having a mental breakdown, it's a much healthier ending for our boy. All right, enough feelings. Let's talk numbers. Let's talk about the kit. Durin is Pyro. He is a dragon. So, is he the new DPS king? Not exactly. The consensus from the theory crafters is already settling in, and it's a bit of a mixed bag. Durin seems to be the premier sub-DPS / support for the Hexenzirkel ecosystem. We are entering the witch era of the meta. With Alice likely on the horizon and Nicole confirmed as Pyro, Durin feels like the first piece of a new Exodia team.
But right now, he is basically Pyro Archon's best friend. If you have Pyro Archon, you want Durin.
His buffs are tailored for Pyro reactions, and his off-field application is insane. But as a main DPS, he isn't hitting those Neuvillette or Arcolino numbers, and this has caused another wave of Doom posting. Why is the legendary dragon just a support? Why does he need the Archon to function? To those people, I say, look at the pattern. HoYoverse loves dual carry teams now. They don't want one character doing 100% of the damage. They want synergy. Durin isn't weak, he is future-proof. But Durin's kit seems to have specific interactions with summoned entities, likely referencing his Simulanka origins, which hints that he will be the core of the upcoming Alice Clee Durin team comp. He isn't a hypercarry, he is an engine, and engines last a lot longer in the meta than the shiny new DPS car.
There is one critique, however, that I think holds water, and it goes back to the visuals. Genshin Impact has been getting cuter. Natlan was colorful, Simulanka was a storybook, and now Durin, a dragon made of abyssal corruption, looks like a K-pop idol with a cool coat. There is a segment of the player base, the veterans, the lore heads, who miss the grit. They miss the dark atmosphere of Enkanomiya or the Chasm. They wanted Durin to look monstrous. They wanted him to look a little bit scary. Instead, we got a design that fits perfectly into a slice of life anime. I've seen comments saying he looks like he belongs in Star Rail, not Genshin. Or why does he look so clean? And this brings us to the Disneyfication of Genshin argument. Are we losing the edge? By taking the most tragic monster in lore and turning him into a well-adjusted young man, are we stripping Teyvat of its danger? Maybe, but I also think this is intentional. We are heading towards Snezhnaya. We are heading towards the Tsaritsa and the Abyss War. Things are about to get very, very dark. Maybe Durin is the calm before the storm. Maybe we need a character who represents pure, unadulterated hope before we march into the freezing cold to fight the Fatui. Or maybe HoYoverse just knows that cute anime boy sells better than a Bathol abomination. It's definitely that one, let's be honest. So where does that leave us? The community is going through the 5 stages of grief regarding evil Durin. First, denial. This isn't the real Durin. The real one is still in the heart. Second, anger. Why can't he fly? Why is he so nice? Third, bargaining. Maybe his C6 unlocks his evil memories. Fourth, depression. I waited 5 years for a support unit. And finally, acceptance. We're currently somewhere between bargaining and acceptance. The reality is, HoYoverse played a dangerous game here. They took a character with massive lore baggage and completely reinvented him. They risked alienating the people who loved the old lore to appeal to the people who loved the new summer event. Did it work? Commercially? Yes. His banner is selling like hotcakes. Narratively, that's subjective. If you view Durin as a separate entity, a son of M and a brother to Albedo, he is a fantastic character. His story of finding humanity, of rejecting the destiny of a monster, is compelling. It's the classic Iron Giant trope. You are who you choose to be. But if you view him as the continuation of the Dragonspine Durin, yeah, it feels a bit hollow. It feels like the edges were sanded off to make him marketable. Ultimately, Durin represents a shift in Genshin storytelling. We are moving away from tragedy for the sake of tragedy and moving towards healing. We saw it with Scaramouche becoming the Wanderer. We saw it with Furina finding a new life. And now we see it with Durin. HoYoverse is telling us that no one is beyond redemption. No one is defined by their birth or their creator. Even a dragon made of poison can become a hero of Mondstadt. And sure, maybe he can't fly, but looking at him standing next to Albedo, finally safe, finally loved, can we really be mad? Okay, I'm still a little mad about the wings. HoYoverse, please fix the glider. It looks ridiculous. I'm begging you. But I want to turn this over to you. What is your verdict on Durin? Are you team happy ending, or are you team give me the monster? Does his kit disappoint you, or are you just happy to complete your Hexenzirkel collection? Let me know in the comments below. I have a feeling the war in the replies is going to be more intense than the catastrophe itself. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the community's meltdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We have a lot more drama to cover before Snezhnaya drops. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.